Coffee, check. Scrap, check. Come on, let's dive in. Hey everybody, Shark Scrapper. Well, look at this. We've got this cool AMX Auto Patch Optima. This should be interesting. So we got it from a county jail. So I guess this was used to control all of their cameras. If we look on the back, we can see that it's got all kinds of connectors for video inputs. Now each one of these has a little gold-plated pin inside, but I don't know how challenging it's going to be to get at that. So we'll find out. First thing we got to do is get a bunch of screws taken out of here. All right. Now that's that one screw that didn't want to cooperate, but I think we can pop right off. Yeah, there we go. All right. Tin shred out of the way. That's a nice board there. I wonder if there's a board with each layer of these. That could be cool. Yeah. And they're slotted into this riser card here. So, oh, you know what? I did not check the bottom. Aha! Aha! Sort of all falls apart once you take all the screws out. Oh man, that's funny. That is funny. Okay, more shred out of the way. Let's see now. You unplugged. You unplugged this power cord here. Ouch. Ouch. All right, set you aside for a minute. And let's go ahead and get this back plane figured out. What do you say? It looks like it could be very interesting. So, wow, what a really cool riser card. So you've got these slots that those boards were slotted into, but then you've got some real nice daughter cards right here. The board itself has some nice components on it. There's nothing hugely exciting, but it's got a lot of little stuff on it. Here's a bunch of little ICs over here, tantalum capacitors. No, Those are not capacitors. Sorry, I just saw the code. Those are not capacitors. Here they are. Tantalum capacitors here, here. Some nice gold Enig on these pads. MLCCs. These little daughter cards are really well populated, and they are soldered onto the board. More tantalum capacitors here, and then of course there's this gold Enig that we saw. More of that on the back for the pads. So real nice kind of expansion kind of board here. And I'm going to throw this in with my peripheral high grade because it's got so much stuff on it, and it's got more than your typical riser card. Chris, let me know if that's a mistake, but that's where it's going for right now. All right, now that's just the power connector. So let's get that wire off of there. So we have some number 2 insulated, and then we have shred, some more shred here. Now, let's see, what are you? Well, you are a whole lot of little buttons and stuff. So we have these little buttons here, you know, went through all of those little holes, and they would have been pressing these little tactile switches. That would have been, assuming that this is what we think it is, and there was a whole bunch of cameras that were feeding into it, this would have been for switching between all of the cameras. Now we have a heat sink on the back, so let's get that disconnected. Hey, it's not New Year's, well, it's New Year's Eve, but it's not time for drinking yet. Falling down the job here. Hope everybody had a safe in place. It's New Year's Eve when I'm recording this, but you'll see it afterwards. You'll see it on the 2nd, I believe. All right, now that is a ferrous frame, right? Yeah. Okay. They're all, sorry, let's look at this board. Let's see, this is the LCD board here, right? And normally I would throw that in with my mid grades. We've got some gold Enig on here. We've got some gold plated pins. The backside does not have any components other than what's on the LCD board. This side has some very tiny little components. There's a gold edge crystal oscillator. We have some ICs over here, BGA, an oscillator. Oh man. I mean, it's an easy mid-grade, but I'm thinking it's also a good peripheral, because there really are, I mean, there's a lot of components and some gold, and I don't know, torn on this one. Now, let's get this power board off of here. And there's a nut. A nut. I wonder if I can hold it with my finger. We'll see. Yeah, see, sometimes I can. Nope. Nope. And that's too big to get in there to hold it. So we're going to take the needle nose. First, let's get this fan out of the way. Now, I can get the needle nose in here to hang on to that. Now we have a nice power board down inside of an aluminum heatsink. Hopefully these screws will play. That one did okay. That one did okay. That one did okay. Why is there always one? Why is it that it always seems to be at least one screw that wants to be problematic? Oh, I see. More screws. These are holding FETs, MOSFETs against the heatsink. And these guys are really long screws, apparently. There you go. You're out of the way. There we go. There we go. Now it wants to play. All right, so there's a nice big chunk of extruded aluminum. And then this power board has some nice components on it. If you want to take off these toroids for the copper, this spool is copper and very easy to, hopefully, it'll cooperate. When they cooperate, they're very easy to unspool. Just get this middle piece out of here. That was the ferrite core. Usually those pop out a lot easier. I don't know why that one was being misbehaving. So anyway, now the copper, you just look for which one of these is, there we go, just unspools. And there you go. And now you got some nice number 2 copper. So we've got the toroids, and then you can pull this off and put it with your copper bearing motors. That one could probably go with your copper bearing motors as well. That one will be difficult to unspool because it's got that tape layer, and that's probably layered in with it. You've also got some ICs here. So there's some things that you could, keep pulling off here if you want to. Now, let's get at these boards. Let's take a look at these boards. We finally get to look at these boards. The real meat here. This was the riser card, but man, that is a very nice, we're going to call this a Goldfinger card here, even though it's got a lot of riser type things. It's a Goldfinger card. Lots of components here. ICs and BGAs and flatbacks and gold edge crystal oscillators. So we'll take off this shield, this bracket, and now we have a Goldfinger card for the Goldfinger card bucket. Look, even on the back, IC, flatpack, MLCCs, gold edge crystal oscillator. Man, Board Sort's going to get some really good value off of this. And are you ferrous? Nope. You're aluminum. Okay, now, what do we have here? So we have 3 of these cards. And we've got screws running along this bracket plate, holder plate thing. Yeah, probably have something similar on this side. No, we don't. We only have that and one screw there. There's some sort of holder thing. And then screw here. Oh, interesting. These are like individual trays of these boards, and so I gooned up this bracket on this side, and it's creating some difficulty for me, but that's all right. We'll get it figured out. Get you off of here. And let's see, are there any screws here that I'm missing? No, I don't see any screws there. So why? Ah, I see. There's a nut right there. You know, I'll bet you there's a tool for going down over top of those things. I should look for that. I should look for that, because this is somewhat annoying when I come across these, and they're relatively common nuts for holding in these kind of connectors. And now we should be able to get the board out. Is there another one over here? Yes, there's another one over here. Thank God they don't all have these. I'd have to do some serious rethinking if all of these were screwed in, wouldn't I? All right, so we're gonna have two more of those to deal with, but let's take a look at this board here. So, you know, I know it looks really pretty with the gold Enig, right? And here's gold fingers. There's some tantalum, some black tantalums there. And then on this side, we have a whole bunch of little ICs, and interspersed are some tantalum, black tantalum capacitors. And then there's a whole bunch of teeny tiny little components in here too. Then over here we've got more gold Enig pads, more flat packs, more tantalum capacitors, IC, MOSFETs. Here's the problem. Look at all this junk hanging on this thing. It's just not fair for me to sell this to BoardSort as a gold finger card. I mean, it is technically a gold finger card, but come on, look at all that junk that's hanging on there. So the question is, what do you do? Well, in this case, I'm going to cut that off. And that will, yeah, that definitely will make them lighter, but that's the only fair thing to do, because come on, otherwise that junk, there's no value there for BoardSort. But if I cut that junk off, then I feel more comfortable putting this in with gold finger cards. So, that's what are we gonna do? Now the question is, do I go back here and cut along the line, or can I think because they're the way they're soldered in, it's probably just best if I just cut along that line. Yep, that's the plan. Come on, let's go do it. Now I'm hoping that my vise is just wide enough to be able to capture a half of the socket on either side here. If I just captured one part, the other part would flop around a lot. So I'm hoping that this is going to be firm enough for me to just run my grinder right up the edge here and have that cut off. So I was a good boy, and Santa Claus brought me some cool toys. One of them is these safety glasses that have the side shield here. So for these kind of little grinding projects, these are perfect because they protect my eyeballs and they protect stuff from coming in on the side. I also got a DeWalt battery operated grinder. It's got a cool brake system on it so that it won't, you know, flash back at me, snap back at me, bite me. Bite me. Well, the cut went really nice, but I have a couple of loose tantalums, so I'll pull those off. But otherwise, yeah, that was good. It'd help if I could cut in a straight line, wouldn't it? And there you have the connector part, and you can see the copper along there. Very cool. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that little scrap session with something we've never seen before. Pretty cool, huh? Don't forget that in addition to videos on Monday and Thursday, you also get live streams every Sunday at 2 p.m. for about an hour to talk about what's going on in the world of scrap business kind of stuff, precious metals and base metals and companies and things of that nature. And then right after my live stream, we flow right into Scrapping Irish's live stream, so it's a great way to spend a Sunday afternoon. And if you want even more, or you want to help support our shark research, you can always become a Patreon, and then you get a special Patreon member only video every Wednesday. Have a great 2023. I'm looking forward to having a fun year with everybody.